Hello friends, welcome to the course Learn Ethical Hacking from Entry to Expertise. In this class, we are going to learn terminologies or technical jargons that are widely used throughout this course and are very much needed to understand the concepts that I am teaching you in this course. So let us start with ethical hacking. Have you ever heard the word ethical Java or ethical Python, ethical Perl or ethical networking or ethical any technology? Why is the word ethical is appended to hacking? So before we learn ethical hacking, you must understand what hacking is. Hacking is something like this. I have this gun. I have ability to shoot my target. If I use the gun for offensive purposes, I would be a criminal and I would be put behind the bars. But what if the same gun I use for defensive purposes, like if I'm a policeman or if I'm a military and I use this gun for defensive purposes, then I'm called as a security person and I'm using this gun for a defensive purposes. So hacking is similar to this gun. It is a skill set. If I use this gun for offensive purposes, it is not the fault of this gun. It is the fault of me using it for offensive purposes. Similarly, if I use the same gun for defensive purposes, it is again not fault of this gun, or it is not the credit of this gun. It is a credit of me using for defensive purposes. So hacking is similar to this gun as said. It is a skill set. Hacking is a skill set, and if you are using your skills for defensive and offensive purposes, the definition of hacking changes. For example, if you are using your skills for offensive purposes like hacking into someone's email account or hacking into someone's personal computer, or you're hacking a server or entire network itself, it means that you're doing some malicious activity with your skills. Then you're called as a cyber criminal in computing world or IT security full. But if you're using the same skills to protect your computer or your organization's computer or the entire network itself, or if you're using to secure an application from being attacked, then you're called as a cyber security professional. Now, on internet, you might find hacking as gaining unauthorized access to computer and network applications or a system itself. But why do you define it as unauthorized access? The access could be authorized also. Like my client may give me to test it, then I'm authorized to gain access to his network. So hacking is a skills to gain access to a target or a target of evolution. So let me explain it once again over here. Take this computer. This guy has ability or skills to hack this computer and gain access to this computer. And if he is gaining access to this computer with the permission, then this guy is called as ethical hacker or a security professional. And if he is using the same skills to hack this computer or gain access to this computer without permission, then he is called a cyber criminal. So understand, hacking is ability, it is a skill set, or it is an art of exploiting computers. So why ethical hacking? In the past history, some hackers have used the skills to do some malicious activities like making international calls at a very cheaper rate or not even pay. And media has spread the negative connotation of hacking. To bring positive meaning or positive connotation to the word hacking, the word ethical hacking is emerged. Some trainers like me don't believe in this word ethical hacking. We feel ethical hacking is a meaningless word, only hacking is a skill. But still I have to teach you ethical hacking academically. So ethical hacking is a systematic or a standard procedure or a methodology to hack into a target that is given by your client to find the vulnerabilities or bugs in the applications or network devices or network infrastructure. So that's what ethical hacking is. So next, vulnerability. Vulnerability in English means state of being exposed to possible attacks, either emotionally or physically. So let me repeat, it is a state of being exposed to possible attack. So when you relate it to a cyber security, say for example the computer or a network has a vulnerability, it means that it is in a state and it could be encountered with a possible attacks. So vulnerability in cyber security can be defined as a weakness, flaw or a bug that could be exploited to gain access to the target machine, network or an application. There are different kinds of vulnerabilities. namely software vulnerabilities, hardware vulnerabilities, network vulnerabilities, physical and organizational vulnerabilities. Hardware vulnerabilities. Hardware vulnerabilities are vulnerabilities to hardware devices or equipments, like your external hard disk could be prone to dust and humidity, and that could corrupt your hard disk. And next, software vulnerability. Software vulnerabilities are related to applications installed on network devices like routers, switches, computers, mobiles, etc. Like as said earlier, if an application is outdated and has no updates, that could be a software vulnerability to that computer or a device. Similarly, if there is a flaw in the design of an application or insufficient testing has been conducted on the developed software, and that could be a software vulnerability, and it could be a threat to that device, and if the device in the network, it could be a threat to the entire network. So that is the software vulnerability. Next, network vulnerabilities. Network vulnerabilities are vulnerabilities that are existing in the entire network infrastructure, like insecure communication lines or fault network routes, old network devices, insecure network design or architecture could be the vulnerability to entire network. Next comes physical vulnerability. Physical vulnerabilities are due to unreliable power source or a weak physical security, due to which devices or equipments may get corrupted or stolen, thereby losing a valuable asset of a company. Physical and geological vulnerabilities are very important risk factors that are needed to be kept in notice to avoid or to mitigate these kinds of vulnerabilities. And finally, organizational vulnerabilities. Organizational vulnerabilities are due to lack of awareness on importance of the security. This could be also negligence in spending time and effort and money on implementing the security. And if implemented, there could be a poor security policies and audits that could be vulnerable to the entire organization. I hope you have understood what a vulnerability is. Target of evaluation. Are you feeling insecure with your company network or the computer that you are using to watch this video right now, or an application or a mobile? Then go ahead and test for it. So target of evaluation is nothing but a target, whether it is a network application or a device, that's need to be tested to find the vulnerabilities. Exploit. Exploit in English means taking advantage of a situation or a material in unfaithful or unaccepted manner. In cybersecurity, exploit or a computer exploit is nothing but it is an attack on the target system to gain access to the target network application or a system. Exploit in IT security or cyber security also refers to a software code or chunk of data that takes advantage of a vulnerability to gain access to the target machine, network or application. Attack. What is an attack? Attack in cybersecurity can be defined as an event or an action that is performed or initiated or conducted against the target network or a system to challenge the security of the target or to compromise the target by exploiting the vulnerability that are existing in the target machine, network or a computer or an application itself. Say for example, there are so many kinds of attacks: password attacks, virus malware attacks, DOS attacks, email attacks. For example, if you are trying to get password of an email, it means that you are doing an email attack. Or if you are denying service of some application, like for a web application is providing me some information and you are stopping that information getting to the client, it is a DOS attack. So there are so many different kinds of attacks on internet that you are going to learn in this course. The next one is threat. What is a threat? Threat is a chance or a possibility of being attacked. In general scenario, now you have a computer. Computer has a vulnerability because the softwares in it are not upgraded since long time. So there is a vulnerability. It means that there is chance that it could be attacked. It means that there is a threat to that computer. Now let us take a synopsis or a scenario to learn more about threat. In this scenario, this is a network. It has old servers and applications installed on it, and there are routers that are quite old devices. The firewall application license is expired and the hardware firewall is hard to maintain because of a low skilled professionals. So many vulnerabilities in this network, right? Like old applications, old devices, no skilled professionals, zero audits, etc. Now this network is vulnerable and there is a chance that it could be attacked. How was that chance emerged? Because it is connected to internet, meaning the network is exposed to anyone over the internet. And why will be attacked? Because an efficient or a proficient hacker can find vulnerabilities in that network. Now because there is a chance that someone could attack, the threat has emerged or a threat is there to that network. And when someone takes advantage of this situation and performs action to gain access to the network, it is called attack. There is a small difference between threat and an attack. Threat is a chance or possibility of an attack due to condition or situation of the target. Condition means the state of being vulnerable, and attack is action performed against the target whose condition or which condition is vulnerable. There are three types of threats: cyber threats, geological threats, and physical threats. Geological threats and physical threats are due to factors like geological places where the network installation is placed and could be subjected to calamities like tsunamis and floods, and while physical threats are due to factors like fire accidents, etc. While cyber threats are threats from the cyber attacks that are made intentionally or unintentionally on the target systems. Cyber threats can be further divided into three types: network threats, host threats, and application threats. Network threats are threats from the attacks to the entire network infrastructure, while the host threats are threats from the attacks to a particular device like individual systems, servers, or applications itself. And application threats are related only to the applications, like applications installed on devices like computers, mobiles, or networking devices. Now, network threats. Network threats are cyber threats from cyber attacks, like different kinds of cyber attacks on entire network infrastructure itself, like your entire network topology, communication protocols, devices like routers and computers, workstations, etc., and applications installed on them. For example, your network information like topology could be exposed. Devices installed on your network can be exposed with their device information, MAC addresses, version numbers of the applications installed on them, etc. Someone sitting on your network could spy what is coming into your network and what is going out of your network, that is MITM attacks, and also could conduct session hijacking like attacks. Also, someone could launch DOS attack on your entire network so that the service you are providing to your client could be stopped. Now, host threats. Host threats are cyber threats from the attacks that are subjected or targeted only to particular device like an individual computer or a server or even a mobile, and the device could be part of network itself. For example, your friend might have left his laptop at your place and he has gone out for some work, and you as a hacker who don't have ethics might try to break the password of that computer to get some information of that computer, and after successful attack and getting password of that computer, you might create an account and escalate your privileges from user account to an admin account, or you might have installed a backdoor on it. Whatever the attack you are conducting, you will be conducting on that host itself, even though that computer is part of network. Like if it is connected to internet, it is a part of internetwork, but still you are targeting to a single host. Now, application threats. Application threats are cyber threats where there is a threat from cyber attacks on particular installed applications only, not a host but the applications that are installed on a host. Like for example, I am recording this video with XYZ software and assume that I am using a trial version. What if I liked this software and want to extend the trial version, or I don't want to buy this software and I want to reverse engineer to find the key and break the software security to use the full features and functionality of the software? It means that I am targeting to the application itself. I can also conduct a buffer overflow attack on this application. So application threats are threats that are related to the only application but not the host on which the application is installed, and even host could be a part of internet network itself. Here are the examples of few application threats like improper data or input validation on a form fields, or a security misconfigurations, information disclosure, reverse engineering, buffer overflow, and when it comes to web applications, SQL injections can be a threat to form fields or input form fields, and of course cryptographic attacks